One of the biggest things that people are concerned about when they come to me is whether they are going to lose their car. Because if you lose your car, you lose your ability to get to work, take your kids where they need to go, or get along with daily life. The good news is this: filing bankruptcy in New Jersey does not automatically mean you're going to lose your vehicle. But what happens to your vehicle does depend on a few important details and on how you structure your case. So the first question I usually look at it is very simple. Is the car financed or is it paid off? In bankruptcy, it's important to remember that your car is still an asset, whether it's financed or you own it outright. So your bankruptcy may deal with your personal liability on the vehicle, but it doesn't eliminate the loan. So in a Chapter 7, that might mean that you can continue to keep your car provided the vehicle is under a certain exemption level and you remain current on the payments. In a Chapter 13, you may have more flexibility with your vehicle because you are paying other debts over a period of time. So let's talk about a car first that's financed, where you have a loan. A lot of people assume bankruptcy wipes out the loan and you can keep your car for free. This is simply not the case. So if you still owe money on your car and you filed a Chapter 7, you have a couple of options. In a Chapter 7, you may be able to keep paying the car outside bankruptcy. You may be able to redeem the car by paying its current value in the form of a lump sum, or you have the opportunity to surrender the vehicle and discharge your remaining balance. In a Chapter 7, if you are behind on the payments or the car is simply unaffordable, surrendering may be the wisest option. But if the car is affordable and reliable, keeping it and paying the car outside bankruptcy could make sense for you. Chapter 13 can be very different in many ways. There's flexibility. Chapter 13 is a repayment plan that lasts typically 3 to 5 years, and it's often the better fit if someone needs time to catch up. For instance, you're behind on your vehicle payments prior to filing. It can allow you to keep property and pay certain debts over a period of time. Chapter 13 can also let you reschedule certain debts and change or adjust payments. So if you're trying to save a car that's part of your daily life, Chapter 13 should and needs to be a part of the conversation. Now let's talk about a paid off car that people are often surprised about. If your car is paid off, it does not mean it's automatically safe. It means we have to look at the value of your vehicle. So in a Chapter 7, the issue is equity, or what the value of the car is at the time of filing. If your applicable exemptions protect the vehicle, in many cases you'll be able to keep your car. But if the car has too much non-exempt equity or is too valuable, or you don't have enough available exemptions, the trustee has the power to sell your vehicle. That means they would give you the exempt portion and use the rest to pay the body of your creditors. That is why paid off cars can create as many problems as financed vehicles in the bankruptcy process. So let's say you own a car outright and the vehicle is worth $8,000. Bankruptcy does not mean you automatically lose the value of the vehicle. It just looks at what portion that you can protect. Those protections are specifically called exemptions or credits. Choosing the right exemption can make a huge difference in deciding whether and if your car is safe during the filing process. If someone has a car that's paid off, the key question is, what portion of the value can be protected at the time of filing? So the bottom line is bankruptcy does not mean you're losing your vehicle, but you have to look at the full picture before you file and not make a knee-jerk reaction. If you have questions about bankruptcy and keeping your vehicle, feel free to reach out to our office. Remember, seeking the services of a bankruptcy attorney doesn't mean you're filing bankruptcy. It simply means you're trying to understand what your rights are.